Why professional wrestling? How did I become interested in this sport? I love entertaining people. I love to be in front of a crowd. My older brother is a pro wrestler. I always wanted to travel the world with him. I love to compete. I'm athletic, I'm a natural entertainer, and I'm a winner. Pro wrestling was a natural fit. I started training old school at OVW, Louisville, Kentucky. I traveled all around, learning to wrestle the old way, the old school way. No fancy flips, no acrobatics, just kicking ass, winning matches. Caught my first break probably when WWE released me. To them, to that company, I wasn't good enough. I was just in the shadow of my older brother. So to be given a shot in AEW, to prove myself, to prove I'm not someone's little brother, I'm not some other company's reject, I am the Hollywood hunk, and I will be winning titles in AEW. There's nothing that motivates you quite like your heroes, people you looked up to your whole life telling you, hey, you're not good enough. You're not what we're looking for. You don't bring anything to the table. We don't need you. Because that just lit a fire inside me to spend the last few years proving myself in Hollywood, on the indies, in movie, in film. I am good enough. I'm beyond good enough. And they're gonna be very sorry when they see me main eventing on AEW, because that's where I belong. There's a lot of sides to Ryan Nemeth. I'm eye candy on the beach, I'm fun to look at, but it's not so fun when you're across from me in the ring. And that's what Hangman Adam Page is about to find out. Debuting on AEW Dynamite is a huge opportunity. I know that. My family knows that. My fans know that. For the company to trust me to go head-to-head against Adam Page, I think they see what I see in myself, and that's a winner. Sorry, Adam Page. You're just step one. I'm not coming to AEW Dynamite to prove anything. I'm not here to beg for a job. And I'm certainly not here to show the world I belong there. AEW, I'm the Hollywood hunk Ryan Nemeth. Here I am.
When you talk about MJF and Chris Jericho, you're talking about two of the top stars in AEW. We really have nothing left to prove on our own. I'm a world champion, the first world champion in AEW, and MJF is a future world champion, no doubt about it. I think where the real danger comes in, though, put us together. I don't think we've ever seen a team like this in modern times.
Now, when I look at MJF and Chris Jericho, I don't see a team. I see a couple individualistic narcissists. Individually, you guys are better than us, and we know it. But I think you all are more concerned with one-upping each other than actually getting it done in the ring and securing the victory. The Varsity Blondes is a combination of two young guys with unparalleled athleticism, unrivaled genetics.
Our first match, it just sort of clicked, and since then, we've just kind of taken this journey together, and everything's been great.
Tony came up, he said, you know, you guys look good, we'll call you the Blondes. And I thought, you know what? That sounds like something I've heard of before.
Absolutely.
I've first met Brian Pillman, I think, when he was 2 or 3 years old. I was always a big admirer of Brian Pillman Sr. and only met him one time. And he had a little bit of a soft spot for me, even though he just met me because he knew that I had trained in Calgary, which is where he trained. And he also told me, too, if you really want to make it in wrestling, you have to do something different. And I always carried that advice with me.
I look around this locker room and it's really eerie to me because a lot of these people here, a lot of guys, they know my dad more than I ever got to know him. And to me, that's a learning experience. I can pick their brains, I can ask them for advice. And there are a lot of father figures for me in that locker room. I look up to Cody Rhodes, I look up to Dustin. And in a lot of ways, I look up to you, Chris. But when we step in that ring, it's no more brotherly love.
Nothing but upside for Brian Pillman Jr., but obviously it's always the same thing for a second-generation wrestler who's got a lot to live up to. I think it's, once again, another one of those inevitable paths where sooner or later Jericho and Pillman would face each other. Nothing but positive vibes and respect for the potential of these two guys and the potential of what they have as a tag team. They just don't have the potential to beat Jericho and MJF at this stage of the game, and probably never.
Not only did Archer win the match, he was dominant.
I never lost a battle royal. Look up the rules, folks. I was never eliminated from that. Hi, Lance.
Yeah, this all started at the Casino Battle Royal. Real simple, bro. It's not my fault. The rules are the rules.
What's going on? Jake Roberts is smart, and we know that he is. He'll get the #1 contender's ass out of here. can't win against 2 or 3 guys with steel chairs.
It's been 20 plus years of me in this business, and nobody's pissed me off more than you have, Eddie. Now you're saying, oh, I bitch Simone, I started this, I did this and that. You're right, man. I know what I do is wrong, but I do it strong, dog. Nobody's gotten underneath my skin. You won't shut the hell up for 2 damn seconds for anybody to understand what's wrong with you.
Ever since the anniversary show, it's been personal between those two, and that's what it is, and that's why it all went down this way.
Everybody dies, Eddie Kingston. Everybody dies. And you can't escape what's coming for you. And what's coming for you is the Murderhawk Monster. You talk about everybody dies. No shit. Everybody dies. We lost people in the past 2 years. I lost my uncle on Tuesday, January 19th, and I still came to work. So don't intimidate me with death. I miss my family members who are gone. I miss my friends who are gone. I have no problem seeing them again. I can finally get some peace. And if it's gotta be one-on-one, that's fine. If you wanna bring your goons, that's fine. Everything that's going to happen to you, Eddie, is your fault. You did this. You made this happen. The real question is this, though, brother. There's 2 of them. 2 really important ones. 1, are you willing to go out on your shield like I am? Are you willing to put me on my shield? Because I'm willing to put you on yours. And now you talk about my friends, and I surround myself with this and that. They're my friends. Known them for years. Seen them suffer. They suffered with me. Has Jake suffered with you? Or is Jake just a snake? Don't get mad if he bites you, bro. That's part of their instinct. How about this, man? I'll leave my crew behind. I'll tell them straight up, do not come out at all. Do you have the balls to tell that to Jake? Time and time and time again, Eddie. You've run and run and run. But you're not gonna run anymore. You have no other choice but to step in the ring with me. Lance Archer, we never fought each other. I'm gonna fight you. You may beat up everyone else, but I'm gonna fight you. Eddie Kingston, the Mad King versus the Murderhawk. But on Wednesday, this ends. And the Murderhawk Monster will go on, and Eddie Kingston will be no more.
Weighing 157 pounds, Jungle Boy.
There's been a little change in Jungle Boy recently. I'm now coming out to Tarzan Boy.
How's this song playing? I love this song.
Jungle Life, man. It's actually a Christmas present from Tony Khan to Jungle Boy.
The new theme song has been amazing. It's so cool because the people connect with it immediately. And so for me, going out, doing what I'm about to do, to feel those people behind me like that, it's given me a huge advantage.
I think it's very cute that AEW dropped a bunch of money and got Jungle Boy's brand new song for himself. And hey man, I'm glad it's bringing some newfound confidence in you, because you're gonna need it.
FTR, numero uno. And that's where we need to be. But we need the belts.
Right.
That's the bragging rights. And that's where we need
Back up. Don't even try this. Don't even try that.
I'm getting sick of this. All right? You guys are supposed to be the best tag team in the world.
We are the best.
Hey!
We've been at it with FTR for a couple months now, but every time we've had a match with them, the numbers game has come into play, and that's how they've ended up beating us. And being in there with you two actually taught me something about myself. It taught me that I could beat either one of you.
Don't let the salt and pepper fool you, Jack, okay? I ain't one of these fly-by-night wrestlers you play with in the ring, all right? I'll fight you next week. And I don't need either one of these guys.
Oh, you don't need these guys to beat Jungle Boy?
Well, if you let me finish, no, I don't need either one of them.
Next week, we'll all be ringside. But I'm gonna make sure nobody gets involved.
We have all agreed that Luchasaurus will be handcuffed on one side to Cash and on the other side to Tully. And they'll all be there chained together so that nobody can interfere.
On Dynamite, my family are gonna be shackled like prisoners to a almost 7-foot dinosaur. Why? Because you're afraid? I mean...
You know, the handcuff, for me, it kind of takes away a lot of worry. It's really the only way that we can make sure to neutralize their numbers advantage.
We got a plan, we always got a plan. But on Dynamite, it's me and you, one-on-one. You got a lot to prove, Jack.
We both have friends or partners, they're like our brothers, and they want to help us, but I know that if they're both strapped to Luchasaurus, nobody's getting in there except me and Dax.
There's nothing personal that I have against Jack Perry. The only thing personal is that Jurassic Express are on our tails and they're chasing the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and here in AEW, that is our ultimate goal.
Get out of my way. You're clear out of here. I've been a million miles in a day.
That's the only thing I have against Jungle Boy. He's a great athlete, okay? He's a good-looking kid, and I know in a couple of years he's gonna be a big star here, and that's great, and that's fine. But right now, I'm the star. Right now, FTR is the star.
Having been in there with Dax a couple times, even in tag matches, he has an intensity that I really have never felt before. We have very different thoughts on what wrestling is and what it should be.
But I gotta tell you something, Jack. I'm not the Young Bucks, and I'm not the Lucha Bros. I'm not gonna fly around and play wrestler with you. I'm gonna fight you. I'm barely scratching the surface of 5'10", but I'll fight you, and I'll knock you out.
There's a lot more at stake now, for me at least, than just having a good match.
It's almost an embarrassment to be associated with somebody like Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt, right? I mean, it's almost an embarrassment that his name is Jungle Boy. I mean, what is it? Is he Tarzan? Is this a Broadway play? I don't understand. This is professional wrestling. This is when grown men fight for 6 and 7 figures.
Over the past year and a bit, I've had a couple big singles matches, kind of been thrown in there here and there. And I've learned a lot from all of them, but I've come up short every time.
I've been told to walk along the righteous road. There's a light within your soul. Some road you walk alone.
I promise you, Jack, we're not gonna flip. We're not gonna fly around. I got 2 good fists and a hell of a set of feet, Jack, and if I gotta use all 4 to knock you out, that's what I'll do.
I think what FTR has done is they've kind of woken something up in me that I think is the only way that I'm going to be able to beat Dax.